What is up, world? First, I want to say please subscribe to my channel and also visit the website freedompeoplemagazine.com. First, today, I want to discuss what we want to discuss something with the world. Pretty much, all is getting serious out here. I don't know if people just sleep or are we just afraid to get up and fight back. But we got to get up and do something. We can't just sit here and do nothing. Okay, we can't just sit here and do nothing while people are getting hung in jail cells. They've been hanging black people since you can name it. We already know the history of of America with the lynchings, busting up in jail cells, taking people out of jail cells and then go hanging them and lynching them and killing them and shooting them. We already know about the slave patrol. So we already know about the history of America. What makes y'all think things have changed because we have what? Integrated into schools? Now the just only white people signs have gone down and only the nigger signs have gone down. That shit is all just swept up under the rug, but it still exists. It is so on the surface, y'all. It's crazy. And again, if you are one of those people that say, racism doesn't really exist. All you gotta do is just go to college, just freaking assimilate and just fuck your culture and your language. Who cares? As long as you assimilate in a great old good society of America and you can speak that good old assimilated great English, you'll definitely be able to get a job and be able to pay your rent and live pretty damn good. But no, everybody doesn't want to assimilate. Some of us love being melanic and having melanin and I love the difference. I like being different. I like having bushy hair like the trees. I like having melanin. I don't want to assimilate into a society. I would much rather know my own history and go by my own traditions, not traditions that have been taught to me by my mama, who was taught by her mama, who her mama was taught by a slave owner. I don't want to be taught that education anymore. And I really think we need to stop giving these kids the same education that's been passed down to us. It's a inferiorized education that makes people feel inferior. And you just giving it to your kids. If you've never heard of the Aborigine stolen generation, please look it up. From the 1900s to the 1960s, 1970s, what happened was the Aborigine people of Australia, who are the indigenous people of Australia, who were there way before any European stepped on that land, their children were stole from 1900s to the 1960s, 1970s, and they stole the children. They put them in white institutions, which they call them today public schools. They allowed white adoptions only, and it was called stolen generation. They just recently apologized to the Aborigines, the Australian Aborigines, about this. So basically the point of that is that what you call public, private, college, whatever, that is nothing but it's an institution, and it's an institution that is taught by slave owners, and it's just passed down to us. And basically we put our kids in these boarding schools, these institutions that are here to enslave us. We as a people, I'm calling out on everybody that's melanic all around the freaking world. Whether you're black, you are from the Philippines, you are from South America, you are from Africa, all the colored people around the world. I'm asking y'all to please stand up and please tell your kids. We have to prepare our kids. We have to fight. And we have to fight with our minds, because obviously we don't have the things that the government has and the military has. We don't even have a military. It's freaking crazy that everybody has a military besides there is no form of a black military. The black military is the American military, basically. I mean, we assimilate and integrate, and we integrate more toward the assimilation society, and don't give a fuck about your own culture or your tradition or where you come from. And half of us don't really care because we think as long as we got Michael Kors, and as long as we got the Mercedes and the BMWs and the townhomes and the good old big houses, that, who cares about history? As long as we got all mammon shit, which if you don't know who mammon is the devil's son, and he's a devil of greed, of materialism, and he is Satan's son, and that's what we teach in the church. We teach man shit. That's why I don't believe in any type of organized religion. Half the time, the preachers don't really even want to tell you what the truth is. Are they speaking of the New World Order in church? Or are they just trying to get tithes? They just trying to get their bills paid, basically. Because everything really at the end of the day in America is about paying their bills. It's about paying them bills and making that money at the end of the day. Like, listen to hip hop. Everything is basically about shaking that ass, sex, or making money. No, nothing is teaching nothing. Like, this is why kids is on CNN 2015 with the doll test, and you got little black kids that are picking, white dolls. 2015, we got black babies thinking that same way they was thinking back when they did the first doll test. And back then it was way worse. They could just call you a nigger right in your face, down the street, over the phone, in the court system, anywhere. It was way worse back in the day. It was just more up in the face. Now you would think, everything would be okay. We're going to college. We've learned the English language. We have white friends. We've all integrated. You would think that, these little black kids would be picking black babies and loving themselves, but they're not. Why? That's the question I want to ask. Why? I already know the answer, but do you know the answer? After this video, go ask your matter of fact, everybody should do a doll test in their house with your kids. Ask your kids what doll is ugly, what doll is beautiful, what doll is stupid. It's a shame that you got little black babies that pick the black doll. When you ask them a question, what's the stupid doll, the black doll? They point at the black doll. What's the ugly doll? They point at the black doll. Then they ask them, well, what doll look like you? And they too damn embarrassed to point at the black doll. That's y'all fault, people. That is the older generation's fault. And that's another thing I want to talk about, is y'all sellouts in the older generation. See, back then, when we loved ourselves, when we had afros, and we loved being black, we loved the melanin, we thought it was power like a mug back then. But then as soon as y'all started to assimilate, you start teaching y'all kids this. Now I'm talking about, we talking about like 1930s, 1940s. This is when we all start transforming around that time. Okay. A lot of this stuff starts transforming when a lot of these corporations start getting in, like a lot around 1913. You have the IRS, 1933, around them times when all those corporations start coming in. This is when things started to transform. This is when people started to really, really assimilate. Because see, really back then, there was more black businesses back in the days than there is now, because it was more, people were more unified. Now, we don't even want to be considered. We don't even really, we're embarrassed to really be black. Come on, let's really admit it. Like, being black is living, you're the gutter of the gut. Like, you're the below the nasty of the nasty. What does black mean in the dictionary? Black means nasty, ghetto. I don't know if it means ghetto, but that's what it means probably in the Urban Dictionary shit. Because when you say somebody black, half the time you think ghetto, or you think they from the ghetto. Everything that relates to black is bad. And that's that. It's completely bad.